Hello ladies, here I'm showing you how I perforated the paper with the sewing machine. Of course not using the thread. Here is the other side, which you're not going to use because that's where the needle comes out, so the paper is not nice looking in that side. I just draw the lines with the pencils to the size of the stamps that I wanted to have, and then just run through with the sewing machine through it. I am showing you here that I used actually the back side of the envelope and a scrap of mixed media cardstock, if I'm not mistaken. It's important to set your needle or the stitch distance correctly, because here I'm showing you that I had it too short, too small, and it's not the result that I wanted to have, so I had to change it to a longer stitch. Here I am covering actually the perforated parts, yes, to paint the stamps actually, so covering all the places where I don't want the paint or stamping to go. The lady that inspired me to this, I will add her video below. She used washi tape, which is probably a better idea because washi tape is not as strong as masking tape. So I kind of ripped the paper on many places when trying to remove it afterwards. So it is important to make a good choice of the tape that you are using, that is not too strong, and of course the paper. Here I'm just stamping already the images on the stamps that I want. I'm using permanent ink because I am still going to use acrylic paints over it, so I'm using permanent ink so I don't smear or smudge the color, the images. Here I'm using also permanent ink, and I'm covering the black stamped images with pieces of paper, and I used now a stamp, just some letters with handwriting, and that's kind of like a background stamping with the light brown color, so I'm creating kind of background on the images. And soon I will just pull the acrylic paints, and I am going to do actually the painting part. So the lady on the video, she used water paints, and she has longer video with lots of good explanations and lots of nice tips regarding this, so I advise also to check that video that I will add, and check how she is doing her water painting, and how she's also doing manual perforating if you do not have the sewing machine, so you can do it manually, just use the ruler and needle or something. Here I'm distressing a little bit the images because I thought that they were just too white, so I just distressed them a little bit. I was testing here if the images are already dried or not yet, so I found out that they are not dried, and I was showing like, okay, this is not the time to start peeling off the tape, because as I pulled the tape, as you can see here on the right side, I pulled it also with a layer of paper and created this kind of rips. So I used Mod Podge actually to glue it back down and to kind of seal or use Mod Podge as a varnish of the whole thing. Here I'm doing already the stamping on the sides and also on the images a little bit. You can do it if you are planning to use the whole set as a whole set, but if you're planning to rip the stamps apart and use them as individual stamps, then I would recommend maybe not to stamp it, and to stamp it then on your projects where you are going to use the individual stamps. I think it makes more sense in that way. Here I was still distressing and again just adding more stamps on the sides, but I am not going to do it on the whole, all of the sets. I just the other ones I left plain. So here are just the final results. I hope you enjoyed my quick video. Have fun creating. Thank you for watching. Bye.